I appreciate this opportunity to be with you today in recognition of one of America's greatest national treasures, the spirit of philanthropy that is so evident among our people. For the first time in our nation's history, a day has been specifically designated to pay tribute to this fine American tradition, National Philanthropy Day.
Philanthropy is a way to honor the sacredness of each individual.
Philanthropy cuts across generations, ages, and everyone can participate.
Together, we make our community a better place.
It began as the dream of one man, an opportunity to honor the men and women of America who've dedicated their lives to serving the greater good. Through perseverance and serendipity, that dream became reality. And today, we celebrate the 35th anniversary of the fulfillment of that dream. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 35th anniversary celebration of National Philanthropy Day. And now, from the OC Music and Dance Studios Theater, please welcome our host for today's celebration, from PBS SoCal, Maria Hall Brown.
Hello and welcome. I'm delighted to be your host for this historic and somewhat groundbreaking National Philanthropy Day. Thank you for joining us in the cloud. The event may be virtual, but the impact our honorees make is real indeed. Today we promise good people, great stories, and a lovely jolt of positive inspiration for brighter times ahead. Our co-lead judges Janet Ray and John Christensen led a panel who had the difficult job of selecting our 8 outstanding honorees from more than 100 submissions. Now that's a real tribute to the good work being done here in Orange County. They made their selections in July, choosing those they felt represent the best in philanthropy in Orange County for this year. We thank each of the judges for their time and commitment. To us, everyone is outstanding. The talent and commitment you will witness and the memories we will share paints a powerful picture of why Orange County continues to be a leader in philanthropy and a rather special place to live. Thank you for allowing us into your home, work, or wherever you may be. Grab something to eat, a favorite beverage, or a dessert. Sit back and enjoy our 35th anniversary as we bring philanthropy home. Now let's hear from our event co-chairs Elizabeth Carilla and Joan McBride.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us today for National Philanthropy Day, which began right here in Orange County 35 years ago. Joan and I are honored to serve as your event co-chairs this year, representing the Orange County chapter of the Association of Fundraising Professionals. For the first time in our history, we are not serving chicken for lunch, but rather watching from our homes and our offices. Maybe you're alone, maybe you're with others, but we're glad you're with us. All kidding aside, we miss being together in person, but we are grateful for the opportunity to continue this proud tradition and for the first time in history document National Philanthropy Day so that future generations can view for years to come.
National Philanthropy Day is a major annual event sponsored by the Orange County chapter of the Association of Fundraising Professionals. NPD is a celebration of the dedicated people and organizations working hand in hand with our county's nonprofits, whose passion for causes throughout our community often goes unrecognized. They truly deserve this day of recognition and fanfare. This event would not be possible without our community's generosity. We want to take a moment to thank our event sponsors at every level who help make this fundraiser a success. We would also like to give special recognition to our presenting sponsor, the Orange County Business Journal, our 35th anniversary sponsor, Charles and Ling Zhang, and our platinum sponsors, City of Hope Orange County and Tom and Elizabeth Tierney. And finally, a special thanks to our media sponsors, PBS SoCal and the Orange County Register.
I want to extend our deep appreciation to this year's National Philanthropy Day's Planning Committee. Members who worked tirelessly since January, shifting gears in the middle of a national crisis, and participating in countless Zoom calls. They were enthusiastic and demonstrated a can-do spirit at all times. Thank you again for volunteering your time in addition to your full-time jobs. We are also pleased to recognize the individuals and organizations that have been past outstanding honorees for National Philanthropy Day. Over 35 years, you have inspired us and have been the champions of philanthropy in our community. Our honorees are named in the online program and on our website. Our outstanding honorees each year represent the spirit of true philanthropy and volunteerism. They've helped form the bedrock of which many of our nonprofits continue to grow and thrive.
And finally, we recognize all the individuals and businesses that were submitted as honorees in 2020, also listed in the online program. All of you have enriched our community and strengthened its fabric through your spirit of generosity. We are a better, stronger community thanks to you.
This event would not be possible without the support from the Association of Fundraising Professionals, Orange County. There are nearly 6,000 nonprofit organizations throughout our county, which is why AFP is so important. Our chapter is comprised of professional fundraisers, executive directors, consultants, volunteers, and service providers with a mission to advance ethical fundraising and philanthropy for the greater good through education, training, advocacy, and recognition. We are part of the mission to change the world.
Both my parents taught me when I was growing up that anything was possible if you worked hard enough and if you set your mind to it. Our dreams do ultimately inspire our destiny. We shape our dreams and they shape us.
Across the county, life-saving, life-enriching, and awe-inspiring work happens every day. Here's a small glimpse of that in our own backyard, to the sound of the official National Philanthropy Day song, written by legendary composer Marvin Hamlish, Now More Than Ever, performed by the students of OC Music and Dance. Tears aside, wasn't that wonderful? Our 2020 honorary chairs, Ralph and Sue Stern, lead by example and exemplify the best of philanthropy in the nonprofit world, as well as the for-profit world. The Sterns were the recipients of the 2019 Legacy Award. Let's visit with them.
Celebrating philanthropy in Orange County has become an annual tradition. Last year, we were humbly honored to receive the Legacy Award, along with many other very worthy philanthropists.
Now it's our pleasure to applaud and congratulate this year's honorees. Each of you inspire us by the many acts of kindness you exhibit in our community every day. While you're each unique, you share a common feeling. That is, the pleasure is in the giving. Thank you from the bottoms of our hearts for your generosity and unwavering support.
Our thanks also to AFP, the Association of Fundraising Professionals, and the National Philanthropy Day Committee. During these unanticipated circumstances, you have had to work tirelessly this past year to produce this annual event in a completely new way.
Please enjoy the 2020 award show. We hope to see you soon in person. Stay safe and have a wonderful holiday season.
We fully understand that this is a legacy award. We're not exactly spring chickens anymore. We want you all to know that it's not over yet. We're not done. There is still a lot of work to do.
Today, more than ever, it's crucial that we encourage young people to appreciate, learn, and practice philanthropy as an essential joy of being engaged adults. The Outstanding Youth Award honors youth leaders under the age of 21 who have demonstrated extraordinary commitment to the community through direct financial support, development of charitable programs, volunteering, and/or leadership. I am certain that you will agree the recipient of this year's Outstanding Youth Award is a tremendous example of those principles.
When we heard about the Outstanding Youth Award, we immediately thought about Karina. At Tarsadia Foundation, we are inspired by people that are making direct change in their communities, and Karina really stands out in that regard. She's the youngest of 12 grandchildren, and despite being the youngest, she is the one leading the way.
Karina is at the center of the lives of her friends and her classmates. She brings joy. She has a smile on her face every single day. She's that first person to embrace others, to be able to encourage others to get involved and to help them feel included.
Karina was inspired by her grandfather and saw him lead a life of service and philanthropy and giving back. She herself wanted to do the same. After spending time with him and the family on service trips around the world, she learned firsthand that community organizations, but also individuals, by taking a small, simple action, can make a dramatic impact.
And from that work, Karina has come back to Orange County to say, how can I make a difference? How can I make change? And that's how the Backpack Project emerged.
When I first heard about the Backpack Project and Karina was sharing what she wanted to do, we thought she was biting off a lot more than she could chew. But we were totally wrong. Karina nailed it, and she pushed all of us to think bigger. She found a way for the Backpack Initiative to not only happen in its second year amidst the COVID pandemic, but she tripled its impact. Last year, she gave 5,000 backpacks to kids in need, and this year she's on her way to give 15,000 backpacks.
She cares deeply about changing the lives of other younger students in the community.
For Karina, the Backpack Initiative is about much more than a backpack. For her, education equals opportunity, and it's just the starting point. She actually brought together 30 organizations from across Orange County. She also presented to the mayor of Anaheim, the Chamber of Commerce. She meets with school districts. This isn't your average teenage stuff.
The impact Karina's already made, and she is only a sophomore here at Sage Hill, is just setting the stage for what she can do in the future.
When we see Karina in action, we get excited about the future. The Backpack Project is only in its second year. It's just the beginning, and we know there's so much more to come.
Karina, I am so proud of you, and I want to wish you just my heartfelt congratulations. You've done some incredible work, and I just look forward to being able to be a part of your journey over the next few years while you're still here at Sage, and I look forward to seeing what else you can do. Great job, and well done.
Karina, congratulations. You're absolutely amazing, and I gotta thank you personally for pushing me to think bigger.
As part of National Philanthropy Day, our AFPOC members have a tradition of giving $2,500 of their personal contributions through the AFP Foundation to a charity of our outstanding youth honorees' choice. Karina has chosen the Boys and Girls Club of Central Orange Coast. We will also be presenting Karina with a check for $1,000 from the AFP Orange County Scholarship Fund for her continuing development and education.
Thank you, Michelle. I'm so grateful to be receiving this award. To start off, I want to say a huge thank you to my partners, volunteers, sponsors, and my family. I couldn't do it without all your help and support. I started Karina's Backpack Project in the summer of 2019. So far, I've distributed 20,000 backpacks to students in Orange County. The question I always get is what inspired you to start this project, and why give away backpacks? The answer to the first question is my family. I've been blessed to be able to participate in my family's foundation, My grandpa started the foundation as a way our family could pass down values of service and entrepreneurship. He has been an inspiration to all of us and is truly the reason a spark was ignited in me. The one thing he always tells me is, it doesn't matter what you were doing as long as you're doing it from your heart. Through my grandpa, I learned the importance of giving back and knew that I had to find a way to give back to my own community. That's when Karina's Backpack Project was born. It was designed to be an event where we bring the community together to uplift our youth so that they are set up for success. Education is a powerful tool and is something that every child should have the opportunity to have. Through my research, I realized that the cost of supplies and backpacks has nearly doubled, making it hard for families to provide for their children. Since I was little, my parents always told me to focus on my education so I could go far in life and lead with purpose. I realized that if I had to go to school every day without my backpack and supplies, I would not have the resources and opportunity to be set up for success. I want every student to have the opportunity to be prepared for school. Thank you again for this award. I'm truly grateful. Lastly, to my fellow youth, I want to say that we all have the potential to make a difference, and don't forget to dream big.
We are the world. We are the children. We are the ones who make a brighter day, so let's start giving.
Now, the Outstanding Small Business or Corporation Award recognizes a business with fewer than 50 employees that has demonstrated a consistent commitment to philanthropy through its involvement in one or more nonprofit organizations in Orange County. Outstanding businesses make a difference, not only by providing financial support, but also by being volunteer leaders and by driving innovation that improves the quality of life for everyone living in Orange County.
The story of Advanced Beauty College really begins in 1975 during the fall of Saigon, where more than 100,000 Vietnamese refugees immigrated to the United States, and one family was the Nguyen family. Their motivation for starting Advanced Beauty College was because they saw their fellow immigrants struggling to find employment, and they wanted to start a trade school that could provide skills to the Vietnamese community so that they could support themselves. It's now run by Tam and Lynn Nguyen, who are brother-sister team.
They've been actively involved in our Youth Career Connections program, helping young students with real-life work experience.
They serve on numerous boards at Cal State Fullerton, at United Way. Lynn serves on the board of the Wooden Floor.
Tam Nguyen is the vice chair of our board, and ever since I've met Tam, I've been so impressed with him, his sister Lynn, his entire beautiful family.
Tam and Lynn has been so great about getting out there in the community and giving back, whether it's their time, resources, making introductions.
One of the reasons why the National Asian American Community Foundation nominated Advanced Beauty College is because we were so impressed by their remarkable COVID-19 response. After the stay-at-home order, Advanced Beauty College, along with other businesses in the nail industry, had to shut down. But instead of sitting at home, Advanced Beauty College decided that they wanted to do something to support the community during this time of extreme need.
Tam and Lynn came together with many local business owners.
They really led the charge to begin collecting gloves and masks that were left unused by nail salons and the nail school.
We learned from the county that there was 22,000 home healthcare workers that needed masks. And so we went to them and said, can you get us 30,000 masks? And they did it.
In total, just in Orange County, they donated hundreds of thousands of masks and gloves and also meals that they had donated from restaurants. But they didn't stop there. They made this a national campaign, which they called Nailing It for America. In total, their network of nail salons donated about $30 million worth of supplies.
Every time you asked them to do something or look to them for leadership, they were there and they did it awesomely.
Congratulations to Advanced Beauty College. I can't think of anybody who is more deserving. Congratulations to the Nguyen family. You guys make us so proud.
Congratulations to Advanced Beauty College. Thank you, Lynn and Tam, for all you've done for our community.
Tam, Lynn, your entire team, your amazing family, congratulations on a well-deserved award.
We are the world.
We are so delighted to welcome Tan Nguyen, President of Advanced Beauty College, our recipient of the Outstanding Small Business Award.
Thank you so much, AFP and National Philanthropy Day 2020. It's such an honor for my sister Lin Nguyen and I, representing on behalf of Advanced Beauty College, to accept this award. Thank you, Joanna Kong, Linda Nguyen, Sue Parks, our friends and nominators, and congratulations to all the fellow honorees. You're all truly world-class. You inspire us. Our Advanced Beauty College story begins 45 years ago when our company's founders and our parents, Kien and Minh Nguyen, came. They have the name Thumb in their heart. Thumb in Vietnamese means heart, and that's part of my sister and my name as well. We came to America and it became home for us. I can't help but think back to the numerous American families that welcomed us when we had nothing, when we started with nothing but the shirts on our back. As my parents continue to work hard and continue to have the love and support of fellow Americans and neighbors and establish this family business, and now, for the last 20 years, owned and operated by the second generation and with a third generation in line. We're such proud and committed members of Orange County, of Little Saigon, proud members of the nail care industry that's been hit so hard by COVID-19. We're going to continue to be committed to our mission, which is to inspire, to educate, and to give back. We, along with fellow Orange County and fellow Americans, will be resilient, and we know all together we will be nailing it for America. Thank you.
When Doug Freeman had this idea, I think everyone thought, well, that's a nice thought, a nice idea. It has become so much more because of Lynn and Doug's passion for philanthropy and for recognizing philanthropy to encourage more of it, has become literally internationally celebrated.
It is my honor to present the Outstanding Philanthropic Group Award. The Outstanding Philanthropic Group Award recognizes a volunteer group that has demonstrated extraordinary commitment to the community through direct involvement, financial support, and leadership. This year, I'm delighted to present the award to Dr. Catherine Ann Wallace, the founder of OC Cares. Dr. Wallace is an Orange County philanthropist, respected dentist, and an active member of UCI's parent executive board. Her nonprofit, OC Cares, works to educate and inspire the next generation of social entrepreneurs as compassionate agents of change. And, as you'll see, she has partnered with UCI in a very impactful way.
One of the things that's really important about an outstanding philanthropic group is their broad view of philanthropy. They're not just about their own organization, but they're looking at that whole big picture and how they impact philanthropy broadly, support other organizations, work with other organizations, and leverage that power that multiple organizations can bring to really have that broad impact.
Unlike so many of us in the nonprofit world, where our mission and our programs are all-consuming, embedded in their mission is the idea of collaboration and working together and leveraging our combined efforts to make a greater impact.
Our relationship with OC Cares is very exciting to me because it has to do with a course as well as students actually participating in the philanthropic process. And OC Cares partnered with us on that by providing an endowment so that the students can use those funds to give to the organizations of their choice. But they also brought a whole new dimension for us, which is partnership with high school students. So we could really build this pipeline into the college experience and then philanthropy on the other side.
All of these kinds of different ways that young people can become engaged and inspired, not only to be productive citizens, but to contribute to our community, is an invaluable lesson and service that I think OC Cares has provided to our community and to our children.
So any chance we get to expand our program and really double down on the impact all of us are having in the community through philanthropy is really exciting. And Dr. Wallace enabled us to go to that next level, bring her excitement for philanthropy into our process.
The Joyful Child Foundation, in memory of my daughter Samantha, was established in 2002, and we are dedicated to preventing crimes against children through programs that educate, empower, and unite our families and communities. And that is so perfectly aligned with the mission and programs of OC Cares. Their flexibility as an organization has made it possible for them to reinvent programs very quickly and continue to serve. Congratulations to everyone at OC Cares for this National Philanthropy Award. You deserve it, and thank you for your service.
It's very exciting to be able to do this video in this time where we can't be in person, but I still get to congratulate you, Dr. Wallace, and your organization, OC Cares. It's been amazing to work with the group, and it's so exciting to us to have you as a partner. And I just have to say, as we congratulate all anteaters, zot, zot, zot.
Thank you for the opportunity to nominate Dr. Catherine Ann Wallace. On behalf of UCI, congratulations Dr. Wallace and OC Cares on this very well-deserved award.
OC Cares is a nonprofit organization dedicated to raising the next generation of social entrepreneurs as compassionate agents of change. I'd like to thank Brian Hervey with UCI for his kind introduction of OC Cares, and Christina Johnson, Matt Princetta, Dr. Victoria Berdau, and UCI for being instrumental in providing the curriculum on philanthropy for our students. And Dr. Stephen Kiernan, Macias and Berger, and Pepperdine University for providing the curriculum on the social enterprise spectrum. Special thanks to Erin Runyon with Joyful Child Foundation and Dr. Patricia Riva with Serving Kids Hope for all they do for the community. I would also like to thank our OC Cares board and advisory members for giving time, resources, and hearts in inspiring our youth. I grew up with parents whose life philosophy was to give first, not live first and give when you can. Their love for God and humanity is an inspiration to me every day. In fact, my mother was the first social entrepreneur that I had the privilege of knowing. She supported my father's nonprofit, the Oasis World Mission, with her orchard. One day I woke up and realized that I was spending an enormous amount of time and money in cultivating my daughter's achievements. This was not the culture that I was raised in. I talked to a few other mothers and decided that maybe we can do something about it. Our initial goal was to provide more volunteer opportunities through giving events. But a few years later, we decided that a school-based, student-driven social entrepreneurship program could provide the structure we needed. We believed that cultivating a giving tree was good, but creating an orchard of giving trees can allow us to multiply our giving impact. We are honored to be a part of this special day, and we want to encourage all of you to join us in making a difference in your community, in a world that needs goodness, now more than ever. Thank you.
20 years ago, I was abandoned on the street outside of Disneyland with $20 in my pocket and an 8-year-old son to take care of. My story may have had a tragic beginning, but there is transformative energy in this room, and many of you helped both me and my son get back on our feet. And I need to applaud you for that. I really do.
Good afternoon. I'm honored to be here today to present the Outstanding Volunteer Fundraiser Award. The Outstanding Volunteer Fundraiser Award honors a volunteer who has demonstrated exceptional leadership in coordinating and motivating others to accomplish a philanthropic project for the benefit of a charitable institution. This individual is also someone who has devoted a substantial amount of personal time, energy, and creativity to one or more organizations and who truly exemplifies the spirit of volunteerism at its best. More than 500,000 volunteer fundraisers assist nonprofits in Orange County every year.
Alona is really a development officer's dream. She knows how to engage other people in conversation. She knows how to turn a negative into a positive. So it's more than just fundraising. It's the ability to engage folks for the long term.
Honestly, I don't know how Alona connects everybody the way that she does. She's really quiet in the way that she goes about doing it. I think if I had to attribute it to anything, it's because she cares deeply about people. She cares deeply about making an impact, and the people that she surrounds herself with, she expects the same thing from them that she gives of herself.
and she's also a great storyteller. And so she has the ability to go out and to convey what's happening and to get people interested. And through that, she's been able to make a lot of connections for us. She's helped us to grow our board. She's helped us to increase the number of donors that we have. And she's done it all because the story is a strong story, but also because she has a very convincing way of telling it.
Alona leads by example. She's a donor, she's a volunteer, she's a person that we all look up to.
She's a volunteer fundraiser, but she's really an integral part of our team. She's helped us in her time here to bring in over $10 million to a very small organization. And she does that because she just wants to help.
Alona is, I think, notorious for never asking anybody to do anything, but before they know it, they're sitting on a board, they're at a gala, they've bought a table, and they're not really sure how they got there or how Alona really convinced them to do it, but she does it every time.
Alona also is one of the most humble people you will ever meet. She never looks for recognition, and I know she's blushing when she found out about this award, which she very much deserves. As an example, she didn't want her name listed in certain recognition areas, etc., because she just wanted to help.
She gives 100% of herself to everything she does, or else she doesn't do it. And she's a force.
Alona, on behalf of all of us on the board and every student and every faculty member here, congratulations.
Alona, on behalf of the Hoag Hospital Foundation, congratulations. We are better because you were part of us.
Alona, we are so excited that you're receiving this award. We are so proud of you, and we are ever so grateful that you've come into our lives and become part of the LCAD family. Congratulations, and thank you.
Alona, you are one in a million. Thank you so much for your service to the people of Orange County, and congratulations again on this well-deserved honor.
Thank you, Flynn, for presenting me with this award and all the kind words. Thank you so much for this honor. I'm truly humbled to be in the company of so many generous and selfless candidates. It's not easy to take praise, so I want to thank Hoag Hospital and the Laguna College of Art and Design for nominating me for this wonderful volunteer fundraiser award. It's wonderful to celebrate 35 years of philanthropy in Orange County with AFP. Thank you so much. I remember my first fundraising venture, a basket of apples, not knowing at the time what it meant to raise my hand. There was a day when I was 8 years old, living in an orphanage in Germany, that we were asked to raise our hand to work on a farm on Saturday. Myself and a big boy, we raised our hands. Our job was to climb the apple trees and get the ones left behind and on the ground and fill the baskets with apples. The farmer brought us crusty bread and sausages for lunch, a gift from heaven. At the end of the day, the farmer gave us a large basket of apples to take back to our orphanage. I'll never forget the kids' faces, getting an apple of their own, not sharing with 5. Next time, 5 hands went up, and so on and so on. We brought pears, potatoes, cherries, always more baskets donated from the farmer. I learned hands up, hard work, and reward is the way to success in life and fundraising, with collaboration, relationships, and gratefulness. I've been filling baskets ever since. Every apple is a patient getting care, nurses getting scholarships at Hoag Hospital, art students at LCAD getting financial assistance and an opportunity to reach their dreams. Our work is far from over. Fundraising for those in need continues. And lastly, I'd like to dedicate this award to my friend, author Dean Koontz, for his generosity and kindness, and my mentor. I'll keep raising my hand and hold yours. Thank you so very, very much.
I'll say the first few words, and I know I won't get the last ones.
I want to thank this philanthropic foundation for what they do to honor the people of Orange County. Thank you.
You never know what inspires the heart and changes a life. Our Beautiful Coastline captured the imagination of a young artist from Detroit who moved to Laguna Beach to not only paint creatures of the sea, but who made a promise to protect our fragile oceans. A special day befits a special guest. Internationally renowned artist and conservationist Wyland wanted to share his thoughts on the power of philanthropy.
I've been painting murals and I've been doing art since I was a kid, and yeah, it's been a great journey. But along the way, I decided that I could use my art to bring the message of conservation. That if I painted enough of these public murals, people would become more aware and sensitive of the health of our oceans. So I realized that early, and I knew that I wanted to create a foundation, the Wyland Foundation, that kind of bridged the world of art and science. And it fills up your soul and your spirit. People sometimes they think, the problems, the issues, let's say plastic in the ocean, are so big and immense. What can we do? The answer is, what can't you do? It's all about your creativity and your drive to make a positive impact. Doing small things really adds up. But I love the fact that every person can make a difference. Every one of you guys can be a world changer. If you're successful in any way, even if you're not, if you have a chance to help somebody or help your community, man, that should be your highest priority. This is the greatest thing you can do, is share your knowledge, your time, your money, everybody that supports these various charities and individuals that are out there trying to do good work, trying to make society better. Boy, do we need it now. So I commend all of you that are doing this, supporting these different organizations. Giving is the best thing on the planet, man. It fills you up. That's the way I can get out of bed every day and feel good. I can look in the mirror and go, damn, we did good. We did good. We're going to put light on the issues that matter, and this is one of the best ones. Thank you so much.
This award recognizes a business with 50 to 499 employees that demonstrate an outstanding commitment to philanthropy through its financial support of one or more not-for-profit organizations, its leadership involvement, and the volunteer participation of its workforce.
National Philanthropy Day has such a rich history of recognizing the most generous organizations and individuals in our community, and when I think of 5 Point, that's what I think of. They're truly the best of the best in their generosity, in being a true partner to so many different organizations and nonprofits like ours.
City of Hope is here because 5 Points and Emil invited City of Hope. They wanted this area to be a site of medical innovation and wellness, and they extended the invitation to City of Hope, which we happily accepted.
I've had the privilege of having a deep and committed relationship with 5 Point for over 12 years. And their leadership team have truly stood beside our organization from day one.
There have been so many ways that 5 Point is really contributing to the community and really building a different kind of place and inviting us to be part of it.
They lead by example, so they serve as an example to other organizations and other businesses and other companies, and their belief in us and their investment in our mission is an endorsement. And it's an example to other companies to say, hey, this is an organization that has a wonderful mission and we should also support them.
When I think of a philanthropist, I think of people who are always giving back. And they're thinking about their community in many ways. From the very first time I met Emil, he was very focused on the wellness of a community. He understood that it wasn't just about building houses.
I'm so personally inspired by the generosity of 5 Point in not just our foundation and not just Irvine, but their investment in education, collaborating with us to sponsor a STEM program that's now nationally recognized, the CubeSat program in partnership with NASA, and recently making a very generous $1 million gift to start our endowment.
So many people on the team are helping City of Hope get our feet on the ground and really being active participants in helping us craft a future where we'll be successful, but also that together we're going to provide a new kind of value to the city of Irvine and to the community of Orange County. Emil, Lynn, and all the 5 Point team, I just want to say congratulations and thank you for all that you've done for our community and all that you're going to do to make Orange County a better place.
On behalf of over 36,000 students in the city of Irvine that attend Irvine Public Schools, on behalf of the IPSF Board of Trustees, I want to personally congratulate the leadership team at 5 Point, Emil, Lynn, Patrick, and Steve. Thank you so much for all that you do for our students and our community.
Thank you, 5 Point!
Emil, on behalf of the City of Hope and the Irvine Public School Foundation, it is my great honor to present to you this award for the Outstanding Mid-Sized Business.
So let me start by thanking Doug Freeman for this honor and thanking both Annette and Nada for their nomination. Two wonderful ladies who are dedicated to two issues that are probably the most critical issues that we're facing in society today. It's our children's public education as well as healthcare. And 5 Point is extremely proud to be a partner with both of their organizations. These two issues are extremely important because they are foundational to what we do every day, and that is to build communities that bring people together and creates what we believe is proving of a model of how a sustainable society looks like. Today we have 72 languages spoken in our schools. That is an incubation of the United Nations where kids are going to grow up respecting each other, respecting the heritage of each other, but growing under one flag, and that's the flag of the United States of America. Same thing with healthcare. Today we hear a lot about people talking about healthcare delivery. Our partnership with the City of Hope and with ANAP is going to prove up a better way of healthcare delivery and an equal access to everybody. So, for us, these are things that are near and dear to our heart. And on behalf of everybody who works for the company, I am humbled to stand here and accept this award. Thank you.
If you don't go after what you want, you'll never have it. If you don't ask, the answer is always no. If you don't step forward, you're always in the same place. You will stumble, and sometimes you might even fall. But what defines us is how well we rise after falling. And when in doubt, just add glitter. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Hello, everyone. Orange County Business Journal is proud to be the presenting sponsor again this year for the 35th anniversary of AFP Orange County's wonderful National Philanthropy Day Awards program. I am honored to be here today to present the Outstanding Large Corporation Award to Loan Depot, represented today by Alex Madonna, Senior Vice President of Sales for Direct Lending. Loan Depot has an amazing philanthropic spirit, including recently donating $1 million to help with COVID-19 relief efforts. This award recognizes a business with more than 500 employees that has created a culture of philanthropy within its organization. The honoree demonstrates an outstanding commitment to philanthropy through its financial support of one or more nonprofit organizations, and has strong leadership involvement and the volunteer participation of its workforce, establishing a role model for other businesses in our community.
The distinction that I see firsthand from Loan Depot's partnership with UCP of Orange County is that they're all in. They provide 100% effort to be able to contribute, not only from a fundraising perspective, but also from a volunteerism perspective.
Loan Depot has been a great organization that has not only provided financial support and leadership support, including board members at UCP, but they've also been very hands-on.
The level of commitment that goes through the organization from the top all the way through their employee base, they get everyone involved.
Volunteering their time, money, and efforts to help make the biggest impact possible on our local community.
Loan Depot Corporation and their employees have provided nearly $250,000 towards the mission of UCP of Orange County. With their fundraising efforts, it has allowed our organization to move forward and really create new services, innovative services that really pushes UCP to the next level, which has allowed us to expand our services not only in our therapy center, but across the Orange County community.
It's been really helpful, especially with having Loan Depot on our board, as they've introduced us to other board members, be able to connect us to other partner organizations that can help us make the biggest impact for providing services for children at UCP.
The connection really started with a young, amazing little boy named Carter Ramos, who was brought to our organization to get some services.
I was so inspired by meeting the Ramos family. Brian Ramos works at Loan Depot.
And Carter's incredible therapy led his parents to become really, really involved with UCP, which led Mr. and Mrs. Ramos' really passionate cry to Loan Depot about why UCP's mission is so important, and quickly got recognized from the leadership team. And when they became involved, it just rolled into an amazing and beautiful partnership that has continued over the last 5 years. They are an incredible and passionate group of individuals that really, really believe in our mission, and it stems from the top.
Thank you and congratulations to Loan Depot for winning this prestigious award, and we look forward to working with you the years to come.
A huge congratulations to Loan Depot. We are so humbled by your partnership and are so excited for the future.
Congratulations to Loan Depot and Alex Madonna, our UCP board member, on this huge award and winning it for National Philanthropy Day for large businesses. We so appreciate your support here at UCP. Congratulations.
It is now my honor to present this award to Loan Depot.
At Loan Depot, our company's dedication to philanthropy is woven into the fabric of our corporate culture, and we are proud of how our employees continue to support the communities for which we serve. In recent months, the COVID-19 crisis has made many groups that much more vulnerable, which is why our company recently donated more than $1 million to local COVID-19 community relief efforts, ensuring that families did not go hungry and that children had access to the technologies they needed to stay connected in school. We would like to thank the National Philanthropy Day Committee and the Association of Fundraising Professionals for this very special award. Our founder and CEO, Anthony Shea, strongly believes that we, as a company and as individuals, have a responsibility to our customers and to Americans nationwide to provide support both in our donation efforts and volunteering our time to help improve the quality of people's lives. One of the many nonprofit organizations we serve is United Cerebral Palsy of Orange County. Loan Depot and UCPOC have forged a strong relationship over the last 4+ years after being introduced by Brian Ramos, Executive Licensed Lending Officer with our company. His son Carter has cerebral palsy and has been a beacon of hope and inspiration for Team Loan Depot as we've watched him grow up in front of our eyes. Through the life-changing therapy of UCPOC, Carter has gone from not being able to walk nor talk to becoming a vibrant young man that not only is walking, but now he's running and talking up a storm. Serving on the board of directors over the last 2 years, I am so proud of the impact UCPOC has on our local community here in Orange County, California. I'd like to thank Dr. Ramin Bashi, President and CEO of UCPOC, for her leadership, the entire UCP staff and the board of directors for nominating Loan Depot for this award and your continued partnership. In addition to UCPOC, Loan Depot has strong organizational ties with the Boys and Girls Club of America, War Heroes on Water through the Freedom Alliance, Second Harvest Food Bank, and Feeding America, amongst many others. Again, I'm honored and humbled to accept this award on behalf of our 10,000 Team Loan Depot associates. Thank you so much. We're very honored. Thank you.
As a lucky cowboy who's had the pleasure of knowing her for many, many years, the Lifetime Achievement Award, Marion Knott.
He started working as a cowboy at Knott's Berry Farm, so believe me, I'm telling the truth.
Looking back, we have so many reasons to be grateful. As a matter of fact, Charlie Zhang would like to thank a very special friend.
Over the past 40+ years, my friend Doug Freeman has made an indelible mark on philanthropy in Orange County. From Doug's great success with establishing National Philanthropy Day 35 years ago, to his personal philanthropy, to his endless work with raising substantial funds for nonprofit in Orange County and beyond. When it comes to philanthropy in our communities, Doug is a champion and a leader, and we are so delighted to have a Doug right here in Orange County. I am so excited with you today is we honor Doug Freeman together with his special 35th Anniversary Founders Award. Congratulations, Doug.
Charlie, thank you so much.
Thank you.
From 2005 to 2014, we enjoyed the leadership of Michael Drake as Chancellor of UCI. Michael now serves as the 21st President of the University of California System. He joins us with a message for an old friend.
I'm Michael Drake, President of the University of California. I'm honored to join you in celebrating the 35th anniversary of National Philanthropy Day. Anniversaries are always a good opportunity to reflect on the past. So I want to take you back to the early 1980s for a moment. Back then, Orange County lawyer and philanthropist Doug Freeman had the idea to create an annual celebration of philanthropy and its role in changing lives for the better. Well, it took 5 years, dozens of visits to Washington, D.C., and hundreds of letters, but Doug's persistence paid off. In November of 1986, President Reagan signed the official proclamation creating National Philanthropy Day. Many things have changed since then, and I'm not just talking about our fashion choices. From its origins in Orange County, National Philanthropy Day is now celebrated by hundreds of groups across the country and around the world. Thousands of donors have been inspired to give generously to organizations that are working in service of the public good. And the critical importance of philanthropy to our society and to our shared future has never been more widely recognized, in no small part due to Doug's efforts. I am proud to have known Doug and worked alongside him for many years. During my time as Chancellor of UC Irvine, Doug's leadership of the UCI Foundation ushered in a new era of excellence for the campus. Through it all, Doug's exceptional generosity, his civic-mindedness, and his commitment to making the world a better place have been an inspiration to me and to countless others. In recognition of these remarkable contributions, I am honored to bestow the 35th Anniversary Founders Award on my friend, Doug Freeman. Doug, your exemplary leadership and your giving spirit are a model to all of us. Congratulations, and thank you for all that you have done.
The Outstanding Founder Award. It recognizes an individual for his or her achievement, leadership, and vision in establishing a successful nonprofit organization dedicated to providing important charitable services to the community, or by improving the quality of life for individuals and families living in Orange County.
I first met Laurie in the early 2000s when I was running the county's largest nonprofit residential drug rehab and sober high school for teens. So I ultimately agreed to meet with Laurie and agreed to have them come in and do a one-time training for some of the adolescent residents in my program. And the result was so amazing, both for my kids and her staff, that they went back and said, we want to do more.
I saw an ad at Mission Hospital for a workshop called Expressing Feelings with Color. And it was brilliant. So that was on a Saturday. On Monday, I went down to her offices and said, I want to get involved. And that was 20 years ago.
One thing I was very impressed with from the start with Laurie's program, Art for Creativity and Healing, was that they were self-contained. Literally, the only thing I had to do was agree to have them come in and give them space.
It's very difficult for a lot of people to be able to say exactly how they feel. And her method is giving them a way of painting it out.
The transition for our facility was incredible, because I couldn't walk from one place to another without some kid grabbing me going, hey, look at the wall, that's my work. This is what it means. I went from darkness to light and I feel better.
It really allows people to pull from inside themselves and to be able to express what's going on, and then to see it visually is very validating.
It benefited my program and most importantly those troubled youth.
Very early on, Laurie Zagon had been asked to do a workshop for children dying with AIDS. When she got there and saw the situation, she was worried. She thought, I'm not sure I could do this. And the director came over and said, your job is to teach these kids how to paint. They've got people who can cry for them, they've got people who can pray for them, but nobody can do what you do. It's not about you, it's about the kids. Laurie said that opened this whole world of being able to help other people.
So she's worked with children, she's worked with transitional aged youth, she's worked with adults. They're doing a lot of work with combat veterans, wounded warriors at Camp Pendleton Marine Corps Base. It really is amazing. It's not uncommon for her to have someone in her workshop that's painting and crying at the same time, or celebrating. It's just incredible, life-changing work. I mean, they've served something like 80,000 people in the last 20 years.
It's teaching people how to express their emotions. It's like another language.
Laurie, it's been such a pleasure to see your organization grow and the impact that it has. Congratulations on winning the Founders Award. You deserve it.
Congratulations on the award, Laurie. Well deserved. Proving that art elevates and heals, I am truly happy to introduce to you Laurie Zagon, founder of Art and Creativity for Healing, our honoree for the Outstanding Founder Award.
I can't believe it's 20 years. You know, I started Art and Creativity for Healing back in 1989, and to see what's happened is truly amazing. You know, I'm just a girl from Brooklyn, New York, and I was a university professor there, and I taught painting, design, and drawing and color. But to have seen how I can use that to help other people is truly amazing. I am so excited that I've been recognized for this amazing award. I feel very humbled by it because it was just something I was called to do, just to help people use art as a way to help them heal, to say things with colors and shapes that they have no words for. Just a way for them to get out a little pressure cooker of steam from all of life's adversities. It's just another way to help people be creative and to learn a new approach to helping them say these things. And I just want to thank everybody for giving me this award. I'm so excited. You know, the Association of Fundraising Professionals of Orange County, what an honor. There were so many other people that should have gotten this award, so I am very humbled and I thank you so much.
I went to Girl Scout camp when I was 7 years old. I never changed my clothes all week long, but I did learn the promise that says, on my honor, I will try to serve God, my country, and mankind.
It is my great honor to present this year's Outstanding Philanthropist Award. The Outstanding Philanthropist Award recognizes an outstanding individual, family, or a family foundation with a proven record of exceptional financial generosity and volunteer leadership to one or more Orange County nonprofit organizations. In this particular case, this individual has also demonstrated extraordinary civic and charitable responsibility and generosity that inspire others to philanthropic action.
The thing that I love the most about Nella is that she's not just a donor, but she is a strategic philanthropic partner of Women Helping Women.
She became involved with Mission Plasticos in 2005 when her firm Miracle Mile Advisors began managing our investments pro bono.
One of the reasons why Nella is the perfect candidate for Outstanding Philanthropist is that she brings others into the circle.
Her significant responsibilities in fundraising have not only included her personal contributions, but she's also made connections with other investors and philanthropists in the community, ensuring sustainability for our organization.
She has brought us donors and supporters, and I know she's done that for other organizations in Orange County.
She works just as hard as we do to make sure that the community understands the impact that we're making and the lives that we're changing.
The nonprofits that she works with in Orange County are a big priority in both her personal life and professional life.
And she is motivated by a deep sense of wanting to help move lives forward in Orange County and beyond.
Nella's a deeply engaged board member, not just a name on a roster. She does the work.
One of the ways that Nella has really helped move our organization forward was when we decided we needed a larger facility, and she sponsored our job seeker lobby, enabling almost 3,000 job seekers to come through our organization in a way where they feel comfortable and confident when they walk through our doors. Another way that Nella has impacted our organization is she pledged to donate for 25 months to our organization in celebration of 25 years. And that was in addition to her regular annual giving.
Nella's philanthropic impact on Orange County is nothing short of remarkable. Through her work with Girl Scouts and many other worthy organizations, she enhances life for all who live here.
Congratulations, Nella, on being this year's Outstanding Philanthropist. I'm incredibly grateful for all you've done for Mission Plasticos and the people of Orange County. You inspire me.
Nella, on behalf of Girl Scouts of Orange County's nearly 20,000 girl members and 13,000 adults, congratulations on being named AFP's 2020 Outstanding Philanthropist.
Nella, I could not think of anyone more deserving of this award. You are truly the heart of Orange County's philanthropic community. Congratulations.
It is now my pleasure to present this award to a person for which I have a tremendous regard, and it's our very good friend, Nella Webster O'Grady.
Thank you so much, Dr. Strupa. For a girl born in Panama who grew up living in government housing, this is such an honor. Our family's circumstances were modest, but my parents taught me the rewards of giving back. My father was a civil service electrical engineer who built power plants for the U.S. government. After the Panama plant was done, we moved to Guam when I was 10 for the next power plant. In Panama, my mother was a Brownie troop leader, so I could be a Girl Scout. I've always tried to fulfill the Girl Scout goal of building girls with courage, confidence, and character who make the world a better place. On Guam, both my mom and dad volunteered to care for the wounded servicemen sent there from Vietnam. I learned compassion from watching what they did. I came to the mainland to go to college at Chapman. I chose it mainly because Orange County was a place I could take my surfboard. After figuring out that the water temperature here is 20 degrees colder than Guam, the surfboard was gone. I had no idea that Chapman would become the university it is today, or that the Chapman community would occupy a big place in my life for nearly 50 years. My first job was managing a bank branch in what was then called Leisure World. After watching too many of the bank's elderly customers make bad financial decisions, I moved into the financial advisory services. I soon realized that the industry was a male-dominated world. That left me wanting to help other women in their careers, especially those who had some bumps along the way. WHW's tagline is Empowering Employment Success, which they have done for 27 years. I've had the opportunity to serve a number of nonprofit organizations, and I've loved them all. Time won't allow me to mention them, but you know who you are. My nonprofit involvement would not be possible without the support of my husband, Kevin. He'd often grumble when I'd take on another new board role, but he has always been there for me. Sometimes he's been the instigator. He got me involved with Mission Plasticos, an organization of physicians and nurses who volunteer in underserved communities in the U.S. and abroad to treat, train, and transform lives. I'll close with a Chinese proverb, the short version of which is, if you want happiness for an hour, take a nap. If you want happiness for a lifetime, help someone else. Thank you to the Association of Fundraising Professionals for hosting this event for 35 years.
Nella, you are without a doubt an inspiration to all of us. It began as a great idea, which blossomed into something I imagine he could have not envisioned. We all need a story with a happy outcome, so we sat down with Doug Freeman for a tale worth telling.
The epiphany came to me actually after I had spoken at Walker Arts Center in Minneapolis. I thanked them for the generosity because Minneapolis and Minneapolis-St. Paul's as a community was then and remains one of the most generous communities in the country and by extension in the world. We say thank you to the donors of the institutions that we like, but the institutions that I don't have any affiliation with or knowledge about, I don't say thank you to those folks. But as a nation, all of these institutions and the donors that support them change the quality of life for our entire country. So I sat down, I said, how do I get this message to President Reagan? He's a brand new president. Maybe he's interested, who knows? If I write a letter to the President of the United States, I might as well write to Santa Claus, and I would get an answer sooner. 2 months later, I was chairing an event in Newport Beach at the John Wayne Tennis Center. It was actually a 2-day program on philanthropy. And I had invited Lynn Nofsiker, who was President Reagan's chief political advisor in the White House. And I drove him back to the airport at the end of the day. And he turned to me and he said, by the way, Doug, that was an amazing program. I'm very impressed with this community of yours. If there's anything I can do to be helpful to you, you be sure to let me know. Funny you should ask. Can you deliver this to the president? 2 weeks later, I'm in the White House. Now, I knew nothing about 35 years of Philanthropy Day at that moment. I only knew that I was being told, you have to get a bill passed through Congress. And I thought, me? I'm supposed to do this? Yes, because the director of the Private Sector Initiatives Office, which Reagan had established, much to his credit, was former Congressman Jim Coyne. And he's the man I met with. And he says, all we do here is we cheer you on. If you get it passed, I think I can get the president to sign it. It wasn't until Philanthropy Day actually came and I was reflecting on the fact that we actually had this amazing event that I thought, this could be important. This could be something that would capture the imagination of the American people as well it should.
A very special thanks today to Maria Hall Brown for serving as our host. Maria, you always bring such grace to these awards. We appreciate your passion and your commitment to philanthropy in our Orange County community.
We would also like to thank Orange County Music and Dance for hosting our celebration in your beautiful facility. And finally, thank you again to the exceptional individuals and organizations that we've honored today. We extend both our deepest appreciation and our enduring respect for the many contributions you have made that enrich our lives and our community. And a big thank you to all of our sponsors for your tremendous generosity.
Thank you for allowing us to bring philanthropy home today. We hope that you've been uplifted and inspired by the stories you've heard. Start pondering now who you want to submit next spring, the individuals and organizations that you'd like to recognize as honorees at next year's 36th National Philanthropy Day. We hope to see you in person on Wednesday, November 17th at the City National Grove of Anaheim. Thank you for joining us. Virtual hugs all around, and we wish you a wonderful holiday season.
Once John and I were in Spain, and they took us to a benefit, Fighting the Bulls, were the dentists and the doctors of the town. And one of the people in the group said, don't they know about bake sales and car washes?
This is perhaps the biggest and best fundraiser I've ever attended.